Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to What's Up 291. I hope you've all enjoyed the Christmas and New Year festivities and are ready to get back on it, as I am. I was due to start my virtual NC500 yesterday, but with me being ill and feeling incredibly sorry for myself, I've delayed it by a couple of days with the idea that I can throw in a couple of gentle rides before I launch into a 100-mile-a-day ride for 6 days. So, we're doing something different today. I'm super excited. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that everything works okay. It was a bit of a rigmarole getting set up, but I am now on RGT, or Road Grand Tours. This is my first experience of it as it currently stands in its fully launched state. It looks nice, despite the fact that I'm having to run it on the lowest graphics setting. So, hopefully that'll answer some questions that will probably flood in straight away. Is that the best the graphics can be? No, it's not. They did look much nicer when I first turned it on, but my system, I'm assuming it needs quite a powerful kind of gaming PC, or I might even be better running it from my iPad Pro. But I've had to put this on the lower setting just to keep the frame rate up. It's not so bad on the game, but it was really affecting the screen recording, so I could run it better than this. But anyway, what we're doing is the first official WKG event on Road Grand Tours. We have this time slot secured for every Friday at 7 PM British time. We're doing a race this week and we are on Cap de Formentor, if that's how it's pronounced. I don't know an awful lot about this route, but I think we go a good 3 or 4 kilometres of pan flat before we hit a pretty brutal climb. But that'll all be revealed as and when. Why is my cadence not showing? That's interesting. So for anyone that doesn't know, with RGT, it's now kind of a two-part system. You have 2 apps that you need to run. A screen app, which can run on an iOS or Android device, or, as I've got it here, a MacBook or a PC. And you also then have the, I can't remember what this one's called. It's kind of like the controller app, but I'll show you it there. But basically everything within game is controlled on a mobile app, whilst your main screen obviously is displayed on your main screen. So I can, for example, change the camera angle like that. There we go. Just did it from the mobile app. Let's go to motor camera. There we go. I'm going to just start off in third person for now because that's what I'm used to. But yeah, basically you have to launch both apps kind of simultaneously, and that's basically it. It probably seems a little bit more complicated than it actually is. I can see some chat coming in there. There we go. So Jamie Woodward's here, John Bytheway's here, Martin, I think that was Martin Backer or Martin Bjorkvik, I'm not sure which one. But obviously the chat is working, so I can get involved in that. Here we go. Yeah, Simon Roman's here, Kevin Wiltshire's here. Yeah, it should be good. Pairing the equipment wasn't too tricky. As soon as I loaded it up, you get the option on, I'll see if I can show you it on here. In fact, I've only got 2 minutes to go, so I'm probably not going to mess around with that for now in case I lose my connection. But basically, you can see the icons there of power, cadence, heart rate and slope. You basically just click those icons on the app and it will bring up a list of any found devices. You just select the one you want to use. Mine all worked really nicely, except my cadence isn't working now. Okay, right, so you can still click in that whilst you're in the race screen mode. So there you go, I've now just selected my cadence and that's all hunky-dunky now. So, good stuff. Let me just check the slope is connected. Yes, it is. That's all good. Yeah, I can see Keith Denton's joined. Good to see you, man. One minor annoyance, but this is purely a personal thing, is that I can't stretch my screen into the right ratio. So, I've got the black borders at the side of my screen recording at the moment. But, first and foremost, I just hope it all works. I'm not ditching Zwift. But it's nice to see some healthy competition, particularly when it throws in real-life climbs like Stelvio and Ventoux and Formentor and various other ones. So I'd like to see the growth of a serious competitor. Quite a lot have tried. Pretty much everyone else has failed miserably, either through lack of funding or the product just being utter shit in the first place. Anyway, I better shut up because we are off. There we go. First ever WKG Road Grand Tours race is go. Why has everyone gone off like it's a mini crit? Bloody hell, guys. Just shout out some more names that I can see at the side there. I've got, I can't see where I am in relation to these people, but I can see Neil Clamps there, Paul Trilk, Maria Trilk, Simon Roman, Martin Backer, or is it Martin Bjorkvik? I don't know. Oh my God, my legs are tired already. And apparently, where I'm sitting, I'm saving 230, 250 watts. That's an interesting little thing up in the left-hand corner there. It will settle down more when the bunches settle down, but that's interesting to see the draft effect as a number of watts. It's also interesting to see just under that there was the name of the next rider to me and the distance I was closing, similar to how you have it floating over your head on Zwift. Alright, so I'm now in a pretty big bunch. Oh, and I'm having to put out 220 watts. This is not what the doctor ordered at all. I've already done a ride today. Okay, so it looks like Oliver Higby is up the front with, I'm assuming the greyed out names are bots. So it looked like Oliver was the only real person up the front. I'm down in a group in the mid to high 30s with Simon Roman, John Bytheway just behind me I think, Maria Trilk's around here, Percy Santamaria's here, good to see you man. Again, I'm hoping this will all settle down and just be a little bit more readable as the field spreads out. Looks like Clampy's on my wheel. Yeah, 1 metre behind me apparently. I don't actually know which one I am. Let's go back to that third person view. I think I'm the one with the, yeah, right bang in the middle. The orange kit, black hair, black helmet. Jesus Christ, I'm knackered already, we haven't even got to the climb. It's literally been 0% gradient so far. Pardon?
You're going to be sick.
I probably will be sick. I'm under strict instructions not to race. I couldn't anyway. Like I say, I did an outdoor ride on my gravel bike today. I only really encountered one decent hill. And I popped it in the granny ring, rolled my way to the top, and still thought I was going to throw up. I think it's been a full month now since I've done any exercise. Maybe just under. But I'm really feeling it. But I'm supposed to be starting my virtual NC 500 tomorrow morning, so got to start somewhere. Okay, I've got I am Tor Anna Martinison. I think he's the one in the 8-bar kit. Right next to me. I'm tempted to chase to get on that bunch. But that might destroy me before we get to the climb. That's interesting that the avatar eases off on the cadence and leans into the bends. Quite like that. Maybe needs a little bit of fine tuning, but I like the idea. Alright, we're on a climb now. Oh, not very steep. I have 100% realism set, which if it's the same as Zwift, on this trainer, about 75% realism is actually about real. So this is going to work out more like 115, 120% realism. So Maria is 18 metres ahead of me. Bye darling, have fun. I'll see you later. So this is Bethel, the bot, directly in front of me. I'm going to go past her, try and get on Maria's wheel. I'm taking Tor with me. Yeah, good man. Right, there we go. No, that's not Maria because she, oh maybe it was, maybe the counter didn't catch up quickly enough. Still looking like Oliver Higby. He's in third place with just 2 bots ahead of him. Good job, man. Oh, I'm hot. Okay, so I'm now back in the bunch with Neil Clamp, Tor Arna Martinison, Maria Trilk, I think John Bytheway is in this group as well. Yeah, there he is, just on Neil's wheel as we hit a bit of downhill. Jamie Woodward's in here as well, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a birthday message for you just before I came on. So if that is indeed the case, happy birthday, Jamie. Hope you have a good one. And as it's your birthday, I will let you beat me in this race. How's that? Why am I dropping off? Whoa, what happened there? Have I had a bit of a dropout? I didn't notice it. Maybe I just took my eye off the ball for a second. But everybody just came surging past me. Yeah, you got Paul Triok, 15 metres behind me. As I try and put in a bit of a dig, get back on the wheels of the group I was with. Hopefully Paul will come with me. Alright, looking at the map up in the top right corner. It's about to get interesting. Jesus. I'm already done. I don't need any climbing. Holy shite. Here we go, it's only 3.5%. Oh man. I can see a few people messaging that they're not getting the resistance on the climb. I wonder if maybe I'm getting theirs. Although that's gone very loose now around that hairpin. Oh, there we go, it's back. There we go, I'm with Clampy, one of my fellow NC500ers in June. I cannot wait. I've been told off already by the wife for talking about it too much when we've still got 6 months to go. But that 6 months will go quick, I'm sure. I'm not sure my trainer is actually reading the gradient very accurately, if I'm honest. It seemed to loosen up as the slope number went up, then got very tight as I started flattening off again, so there's definitely a bit of a delay. Percy's saying he doesn't trust that some of these real riders aren't actually bots. If I look like I'm a bot at the moment, that's because I'm going a lot harder than I should be, and we'll have no chance of maintaining it. Yeah, well, can you see it all on the Facebook group? Yeah. It's bloody hard. It's good though. Yeah. Those graphics aren't what they can be. I've had to turn it down because I'm recording as well. But I love the scenery, I love the mountain. Oh, Clampy stopped. Has he had a drop out? I think he must have done. He was going well. Just starting to pull away from me. Well, I can see quite a number of people are over the top of this climb now. Ah, I'd love to be one of those. I've broken the rule set by myself and by my missus. I've gone off far too hard. I'm paying the price now in the last sort of third of this climb. Jamie Woodward now I can see in the top 4 with just 3 bots ahead of him. So I assume he was pacing himself on the flat. Although he might also be one of the ones that's not getting any resistance. Hey, Clampy's back. Must have had a dropout. 50 metres behind me, putting out massive power. He'll be with me very soon. As a couple of more bots come past me. Shane, Ryan and Diana. Actually Diana's over 2 kilometres away. so she must be over the top. The speed of Clampy, now 13, 12 meters behind me. Awesome dig. And there is Mr. Clamp. Good job, dude. Yeah, my resistance isn't especially accurate because I was spinning freely then, and suddenly it's like I've hit a wall. Oh my god, I need to get over the other side or I'm going to have to quit. So once again, the resistance has gone. I'm still doing 6.5% on the gradient. I'm spinning very freely. And it's moved up to 7.2, but the jump is huge now in the resistance on my trainer. Oh, that car, does that indicate that there's a car park and we're very near the summit? Let's hope so. I'm probably last out of the real riders. I don't know, I'm not sure how you go backwards, or if you can, to look at other riders yet. It is indeed a car park, and it does look like it levels off. There's the sign. Whack a sticker on it. Woo! Down we go. Yeah, boy. I'm keeping an eye on the speed actually. I meant to do that on the first couple of bends, but I think it automatically knocks your speed back. So I'm doing nearly 60k now. Here we go, 60. Yeah, when you get to a bend, it knocks your speed back, as opposed to just being like a Scale X car, just flying around it at full speed. That's a good idea. I'm not fussed about having control of the brakes or control of the steering, but for the purposes of realism, it's quite nice not to be carrying on at 60 kilometers an hour around that tight bend. Okay, someone just asked the question, why do the numbers sometimes turn red? They actually coincide with what I was just talking about. So when those numbers go red for your power, that's indicating that RGT are braking. So yeah, look, I slowed down. I'm still pedaling, but I slowed down to 34 kilometers an hour then on that hairpin. Clampy's still 60 meters ahead of me. I'm not gaining any ground. He's much braver going downhill than I am. Let's put out some power on these bits when I'm not braking. So I'm assuming the second it turns red, you might as well just back off while it's braking. And back on it. Let's see if that works and brings me any closer to Clampy. No, he's pulling away. Maria asking if we're getting points for this race. Not a chance, because I am so far at the back. Oh shite, we're going up again. Oh balls. I wouldn't have pedalled at all on the downhill if I'd known we were going back up. Ah, pay attention to the map, you idiot. Bugger. Oh, there's Maria. Had to drop out. Or did she do what I did and not realise there was another climb to come? I'm back with Clampy, which is cool, but I reckon he slowed down to let me get back to him. Yeah, Maria's still not going, so I think she's had a technical. I definitely should have set the realism at more like 60-70%. More in line with what I'm used to on Zwift. looks like Paul Trilk's had a problem as well. Unlucky Paul. Unless he's waiting for Maria, possibly. I'm guessing at a lot of things, as is so often the case. What I'm not guessing at is that Jamie Woodward is still in second, just behind the bot Olivia. He's putting out 4.5 watts per kilogram. Good job. I told you I'd let you beat me, Jamie, for your birthday. You're welcome. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's probably the reason for Paul Trilk dropping back. He has just done the first 2 days of the virtual NC500. The first day is the Zwift Big Foothills route twice, which is just ridiculous. And the second day, which he did today, is 9 times around the TikTok route and then up and down out the Zwift. It's a tough day. Paul Trilk, another that's coming on the real NC500 with us, so he's obviously keen to get the training in. Jason Arblaster, another one that's coming, made a very good point though, Paul, which I'll let you in on now. It will be a lot harder on Zwift because you're constantly pedaling. There's very few easing off the pedal sections in Zwift, whereas I'm led to believe on the real route there will be plenty of coasting sections. I'm hoping that's the case anyway. But certainly it would seem it's going to be harder to do it on Zwift than in real life. But that's exactly why I wanted to do it. If we can do it on Zwift, that should more than prepare me for what I can expect riding around the north coast of Scotland. I'm not seeing Clampy on my timing screen now, but I think that's because he's absolutely bolted off. Last time I looked, he was a good 150 metres ahead, I think. Okay, looks like we're going to have another little drop before what looks like a bit of a bastard of a climb. Jesus, John Bytheway, who picked this route? Actually, I must thank John Bytheway for putting this all together. Really appreciate your time and effort into getting this going for us, dude. If nothing else, I really hope there's some useful feedback and a build in popularity, because these things will only ever take off if people try them, give them a go. So, just to reiterate, this is not me looking for any kind of Zwift alternative or replacement. I just like the options. And I like the idea that there's somebody there that can keep Zwift on their toes. Healthy competition and all that. As I mentioned before, everything else I've seen is so far removed from being even close to competitive. That I do hope... I hope that RGT turns out to be the one that actually goes from strength to strength. As Nasir the bot overtakes me and drops me out of the, well, into 50th place. So technically I'm still in the top 50. So yeah, as I was saying, having a regular event slot will hopefully increase the popularity, certainly from WKG's perspective. And I'm assuming the more feedback you get, positive or negative, the better. At the moment, my main negative feedback is that my legs just aren't ready for this. You should have warned me, John. I don't think we'd be doing anything like this amount of climbing. My trainer's gone all squeaky again as well. You need to open that up and re-grease it. It's not enjoying 11-12% gradient at 100% realism. have to see if I can change the realism while I'm on the move. Oh, I can. All right, there we go. Put it down to 60%, 61%. That'll do. Just so I can keep my cadence up, really. Jamie Woodward has taken a handsome lead over Olivia. She's at 6.17 kilometres ahead of me, he's at 6.25. So I make that about 700 metres that he's got over her. That's much more manageable at 61% realism. 4.4%. Again, I'll reiterate, this actually feels more like what 4.5% feels like in real life on this bike. The trainer definitely over-eggs it 100%. I think that's why it goes all soft as well, because it reacts as dramatically the other way. So when it drops from a 10% gradient to a 9% gradient, it suddenly goes all light and limp. Then when it goes back up again, it just locks up. Jamie Wood was saying these bots are relentless. Well, I can see he's out of the top 4 now, so I'm assuming they all charge back together. I wonder if that's something John Bytheway has put together just to make sure those at the front have to work their asses off just to beat the bot. Coming through a nice tunnel carved into the mountainside. Very nice. I wish I could run full graphics. That probably looks great. Oh, it's Jamie Woodward's finished, I think. With no issues. That's good to know. I think I could say I've not had any issues either. It's definitely better now that I've put the resistance level down. Everything's just a bit smoother. I think I did have one dropout early on before we hit the climb, but yeah, I've not had any problems so far, touch wood. I mean, obviously I've still got to go over the top of this bastard hill. Or definitely feeling cramp coming on both my thighs. Okay, got another slight levelling off and a tiny descent before what I'm hoping is the last push uphill. Look at that scenery though, that's brilliant. As I said, if only I had the PC to run it in really high res. I'm surprised I can't, if I'm honest. I've got a pretty powerful MacBook Pro. Got a 4 gig Radeon something or other graphics card, which I was under the impression was actually pretty decent spec, but hey ho. Maybe I need a full-on gaming PC. Okay, so it's looking like my race to the end is going to be with this fella here, Jack. So, just going to try and stay in his wheel for a little while. As we hit the descent, I'll try and close back in on Jack a little bit. As you can see at the top left corner, at this distance I'm saving 50 watts sitting behind Jack at this speed, which is very useful. Okay, got a couple more little spikes. I wonder if I can, does that zoom out at all? No. Wondering if I could zoom the map out a little bit, get a better picture of the profile. Nah, Jack's managed to break the toe. That's annoying, I wasn't paying attention. Which happens quite a lot in my Zwift racing. But I'm coming back at you, Jack. Here we go. Oh, my backside's hurting today. Oh, we've hit this 8% slope. Right. I just need to match Jack's power here on the climbs. Make sure I've got something to out sprint him towards the line. I don't know what the AI is like on these bots, whether they will sprint when they get near a finish, if they're aware of competition from riders around them or not, I don't know. Or whether they'll just keep a relatively steady power. Looks like Tor's finished. Well done, man. Percy also. And Percy echoing my sentiment. He was horrible at 100%. Absolutely right. Oh, I can see Mr. Denton. He's been having problems, but he's catching me fast. Oh my God, Mr. D's going to have the bit between his teeth if he sees me up ahead of him. Another little sharp ride before a longer, steeper descent, thankfully. Oh man, did we finish on that little climb there? Bloody hell. That's cruel. Alright, and then we go around this sweeper. Here we go. And it is uphill for a few switchbacks to the top. Managed to put some distance between myself and Jack now. Oh, Keith is coming though. He will not give up, Mr. Denton. Good on you, man. Yes, I held Keith off. Oh, oh, there's a nice little huddle at the end. Jesus Christ. Oh, look, I can see Clampy beat me by 3.5 minutes in the end. Great stuff, dude. Here comes Keith. He looks like he got Neil. Sorry, Neil, was it Neil? Not Neil. Jack, who I was racing. Well done, Keith. Great chase, man. Oh. Whew. Alright. Okay, I suppose I should give a quick rundown. 100% is too much, but then it is on Zwift. Worked really well for me, really enjoyed it. I can see many, many more. Well, I mean, obviously we've got a regular scheduled event, but I can imagine the popularity increasing week by week, so really good. Love the graphics, do wish I could turn them up to full power. I did just see a message there from Keith. He'd had problems. It looks like it's when running side by side with Catherine, which is obviously how they run their Zwift setup. So that'd be a real shame if that can't be ironed out quickly, because you guys would be severely missed if you weren't racing as a pair. Obviously, a few guys were having trouble with resistance, which I was to a lesser degree. It wasn't so much I had no resistance, it seemed inconsistent. But as I mentioned before, I would imagine I could put a fair bit of that down to my trainer, and it definitely was worse when it was at 100% realism. Yeah, it would seem there were quite a few that had some issues, which was to be expected. So hopefully those guys will put some feedback in, and the problems will be apparent and ironed out as quickly as possible. But on the whole, I mean, considering this is very early days, it's my first experience using this latest version, as it was for pretty much everybody here. We had a race. We had a race up the Cap de Formentor. That's all we really wanted. I wasn't expecting miracles. I wasn't expecting it to be as slick and as polished as Zwift. I think everybody, including RGT, are a long way behind Zwift, quite simply due to resources and marketing strength to increase popularity. As I say, the popularity increase will go hand in hand with improvements in the platform, I'm absolutely sure. But anyway, this isn't an endorsed or sponsored video in any way, shape or form. This was just us trying out something new, and from my point of view, it being really good fun. Albeit, I now feel very wheezy and I'm going to get told off badly by the missus. That was good. I liked it. If I could add a few things immediately, it would be, I think I prefer the Zwift method of having the names floating over the riders' heads just for easier identification. That will probably become easier when there are more kits and sort of distinguishing features to choose from. In this event, it was very hard to tell who was who. There's obviously only a handful of kits you can select, a handful of bikes. Everybody's sort of skin and hair colour seems to be the same. But they're all things that will get added over time. From a broadcaster's point of view, I would really like to be able to click on other riders and view them. And also a kind of controllable floating camera. I use that a lot in my race videos, where I have total manual control over the camera position, distance, angle, etc. That would be really nice. But again, these are things for further down the line, and that is looking at it purely from my side of things, where I'm recording and sharing the races. But as a riding experience, it's fine. As a race and as an event, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I'd like to have been more competitive, obviously, but I say that after every Zwift race anyway. So there we go. Right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much, John, for setting that up. Really, really appreciate it. I can't wait to see where this goes. Obviously, it won't interfere or take over from any of the existing Zwift races and events that we have, particularly the league races, where the next one is actually a downhill race. So I'm going to have to ride to the top of the mountain, and you can all click Ride With to join me up there, unless you want to ride up yourselves. But that's always good fun. I suppose I better try and get some rest and see if I'm in any fit shape to start my NC500 tomorrow. I've got to stop doing that. My virtual NC500 tomorrow. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining. Thank you, John, for setting it up. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, dislike, whatever. It all helps. The channel now, we're now a YouTube partner, so your involvement increases the presence and the likelihood of growth of the channel. So do get involved in the conversations. I would imagine John would appreciate any feedback, obviously directly through tickets to RGT, but obviously feel free to put comments below this video and I'll make sure it gets passed on. That's it. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next one.